other than that, it was a very, very light weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I looked at the timeline and saw LeBron going crazy and had a full-blown debate with my dad about the entire thing. And I'm coming in here upset with myself of how I'm on the fence with the entire thing.
All right, so LeBron James obviously confronted Stephen A. Smith at the Lakers game last week about some comments that Stephen A. has been making, throughout, I guess, the last few months since Bronny James has entered the NBA. It is obviously Stephen A.'s job to, talk about sports and analyze the game and analyze athletes, things like that. LeBron, the Lakers were playing, I want to say, who were those Lakers play? I forgot who they were playing that night. But they was at the crypto arena. And after a timeout, LeBron had left the bench. And obviously Stephen A. was sitting close to the Lakers bench. So LeBron saw Stephen A. courtside and decided to approach him in what Stephen A. calls a confrontation. He didn't call it a conversation. He called it a confrontation.
You could tell by the body language in the video that it was a confrontation.
When you're
I'm
6'9",
confronting you about some shit.
When you're 6'8", 280, it's usually a confrontation when you step to another man.
Yeah, but I mean, LeBron, we've definitely seen approach people, but you can tell it's not in a crazy way.
Yeah.
This one felt like all energy above the shoulders. I'm looking down over you purposely type of time.
Yeah. Now, when I saw this, I thought that maybe I missed something that Stephen A. may have said about Bronny. But then Stephen A. addressed everything on, First Take, and then he went on his podcast as well and went more into depth about the situation and what had happened. And basically, LeBron, he said, LeBron, that wasn't an athlete, that was a father that approached me. That was somebody, talking as a parent and, kind of defending their child. Now, this situation is very unique because LeBron is LeBron James, and obviously Bronny, being his son, is under the same, incredible microscope and, scrutiny that LeBron James is under. And people have been vocal about their feelings about, Bronny being drafted and, obviously the nepotism that people have spoken to, which we support and we applaud.
But it's not just Stephen A.
No,
everybody
has chimed in on this. Everybody has had something to say. I think that LeBron just got to a point where he's kind of tired of Stephen A. making it a talking point. Like, okay, obviously you said what you said, but it's like you continue to bring up Bronny and continue to have this conversation.
Well, he's on TV all day.
Yeah.
He has to fill some time.
But, I think LeBron felt like, talk about something else. Like, we get it. Like, Bronny is drafted, obviously, because of me. He's not playing that well. He should be in the G League. Now, while I do understand LeBron being a dad and kind of like holding his son down, on the opposite side, I understand what Stephen A. is saying. And Stephen A. is basically saying, like, LeBron, you put a lot on your son's shoulders by comments that you made, saying that, Bronny can, play over some guys that are in the NBA right now. These are comments that LeBron made before Bronny entered the league.
Yeah.
So he kind of like put a lot on it. He put a lot of pressure, as if it wasn't already a lot of pressure on Bronny just being who he is.
Which we discussed even before the draft, when Bronny was going in to enter for the draft. We said, did LeBron, as a father, put way too much pressure going into this situation the way he supported his son, which who's gonna be mad at that?
Right.
But with the tweets and everything, it started to be like, all right, he is setting his son up to have a bullseye on his head with everything that they've been talking. The same way we talk about how the Ball family is so incredible. And, their dad put a fucking target on Lonzo's head before he even got to the Lakers. Like, everyone was gunning for him based off his dad talking all that shit. So I think Bron has to take some accountability in this entire thing.
I think, and that's what Stephen A. kind of spoke to. I think he was saying, because he had said, LeBron, stop this. Not stop, meaning have your son just out of the league and, stop putting more pressure on the situation. Stop making these comments that, he belongs here. Let him develop. Send him to the G League, where, yes, there's going to be cameras on him and there's going to be analysts at the game watching Bronny. Again, he can't get away from that spotlight because of his last name. Well, his name. So he, Stephen A. was saying, let him go to the G League where he's been playing well. Where he's been playing well, developing his game. And then maybe one day, because Stephen A., from what I've seen, again, maybe there's something that LeBron heard that we don't
Something
know about.
A group chat that we weren't privy to.
Or just something that Stephen A may have said that Stephen A can't even remember what he said. You know what I mean? But from what I can see, well, yeah. But from what I can see, Stephen A seems to have always supported LeBron and, his family and everything that, he does. I just think that it got to a point where Bron was like, yo, you're making it a point every week to talk about Bronny and talk about him not playing well and him not, highlighting his numbers and him, not really living up to the pressure and the hype that comes with his name. So, LeBron saw him and was like, yo, listen, keep my son, stop talking about him. Let him just be.
Keep my son's name out your motherfucking mouth.
But here's why it's not fair, because at the end of the day, Stephen A is an analyst. He's on, First Take. He's on a bunch of shows on ESPN talking about athletes and sports every day. And obviously your son is now in the NBA, so he has to take what comes with that like every other player has to take it.
And we're speculating what was said in that conversation, despite the lip reader shit. But I'm with you. LeBron is actually proving Stephen A's point and everyone else's point with some of the nepotism and some of the exceptions that Bronny gets because of his dad. Now, I understand fully Bron's father energy in that regard. Fuck this whole NBA shit. That's Absolutely. My son. You're not going to play with his name. But as a father, you also have to accept now that your son is a man and you wanted him to be in a position where he will be critiqued no matter what.
Because here's the thing, Rory.
And you need to teach him of someone that has been critiqued since he was in fucking, I don't know what, middle school?
Yeah.
LeBron has been in the public eye, has probably dealt with more scrutiny than most athletes in history.
Right.
You got to show your son how to deal with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because in this regard, now you're asking to move the goalposts. Now we can't talk about him.
But here's why I really don't like it. Because if Bronny was playing well and putting up incredible numbers and Stephen A was talking about him every day, Bron wouldn't have approached him and be like, yo, keep my son's name out your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So now that your son is not playing well, we're not even talking about the numbers. That doesn't even matter. He's just not playing well. Your son belongs, let him develop in the G League. Keep him there, because if you allow him to travel with the team and all of these things and this, that, and the third, it's like, okay, we know the nepotism is real. We get that. But now it's like we're adding on to that. And then he's not playing well on top of that. Whenever he does get an opportunity to play, he's not playing well. Versus let him stay in the G League where he's been playing well, putting up really good numbers in the G League. Let him stay down there and develop his game. And then when the time comes, let him come back up to the league and then show us what he's been working on.
I mean, my original point is a little bit meaner, but I think fairer, if that's even a word. I forgot what episode it was when I was asking you, why do people keep talking about this kid? I understand his last name. I get the story. But what he barely gets any playing time. It was before he went down to G League. Like he scored one basket and it was a headline. They talked about it for 3 hours the morning it happened.
Yeah.
This is a non-story.
Yeah.
Stop talking about him. He doesn't deserve to be talked about.
Yeah.
That's really where I think these analysts should be taking it. Yeah, Why do you guys continue to talk about somebody that has not proven a fucking thing? When he starts balling, which we are confident he will get better and develop, talk about him then. I don't give a fuck about somebody that doesn't travel with the team.
And I think that's what LeBron was saying. Again, we know he's not playing well. You don't have to keep saying it every day. But then again, it's
you're a professional athlete.
You're right, but that's what I'm saying. It's not fair, because if he was playing great and they were talking about him every day, LeBron would welcome that with open arms. So I get it. On one side you're a dad and you want to protect your son, but your son is a grown man now. He's in the National Basketball Association. So he has to take what comes with that, what every other athlete has to take. If they're not playing well, people are going to say that. They're going to tweet about it. They're going to post about it. The analysts are going to talk about it. And again, his last name, the name on the back of his jersey, only magnifies the situation because he comes from basketball royalty.
If Stephen A was talking about his personal life or some shit, then I could fully understand. Yeah. But no, it's basketball.
It's basketball.
I hate that we always have to compare LeBron and Jordan, but I've never seen Jordan confront Shade Room.
I'm sure I'm sure somebody has reached out via DM.
On behalf of the Jordan family?
Yeah, absolutely.
Take all this shit
Jordan
down.
can't wait to see Justin LeBoy. He can't wait to catch Justin sideline. He gonna run down on him. Justin has nothing to do with Shade Room. He's still gonna run down on him.